Man, 1999 was a really interesting time, guys. A really fun one, should I say. There was a lot going on in pop culture. You had Eminem and Britney Spears at their peak.
Wouldn't it be weird? Why? So you guys can just lie to get me here, so you can sit me here next to Britney Spears. Christina Aguilera better switch me chairs so I can.
You had some pretty good popcorn flicks being released.
No one has ever done anything like this.
That's why it's going to work.
Buckle your seatbelt, Dorothy. Because Kansas is going bye-bye.
You had Pokemon, selling like hotcakes.
Pokemon.
Now inside every Burger King Big Kids meal you buy, your kids not only get more of the great tasting food they love, they get Pokemon toys and limited edition trading cards from Pokemon the first movie. Pokemon in the Burger King Big Kids meal. Come and catch them all.
And consumerism commercials were still fun before they became corporate.
You're a real colonel, right?
Play Defeat the Dark Side. Get a game medallion and you could win one of millions of prizes instantly. Even a Star Wars speeder. Only at Pizza Hut, Taco Bell, and KFC.
But today we're going to be talking about a specific video game that came out back in 1999. And that would be Sonic Adventure for the Sega Dreamcast. Now there's a topic discussed about people saying Sonic never worked in 3D. He's always been good in 2D. And Sonic should never been in the 3D realm. Now that's a pretty ballsy statement, I have to say, and I would have to disagree with that. Why? Because the Sonic Adventure series is a good example of 3D Sonic done right. Now it wasn't uncommon to see our favorite video game IPs enter the 3D space. We saw this with Mortal Kombat, Mario, so it made sense that Sonic would enter this 3D space with these other IPs. And honestly, back then, it was revolutionary. Seeing your favorite video game IPs enter the 3D space was a technological leap. And don't forget that the Sega Dreamcast was the most powerful hardware you could have at that time. Shit. Sonic Adventure, was practically the hardware that demonstrated this Dreamcast's power and capabilities. If you think about it, Sonic ran really great on the Sega Dreamcast. I remember when I first saw a demonstration video at one of the, we called the place at the time called EB Games. They had a little video demonstration of Sonic Adventure on the Dreamcast, and my God, it was amazing. I remember seeing just demo clips, seeing Sonic run through the beach, and just seeing the gameplay play out. And honestly, back then, if you remember those little TV stands where you can actually sit, play the game and try it out, back then it was a cool thing. Now, when you look at the Sonic Adventure series now, people have, I guess you could say, various opinions on how the game is. I would say a lot of people, if we're talking about people who like the game, some people prefer the first, some people prefer the second. With me, I prefer the second due to a lot of reasons, but the first one was a good start. It was a good start in the right direction, as I've always considered the first Sonic Adventure to be more like an experimental game. Sega was kind of testing this new idea out to see how fans would react. Now the story of Sonic Adventure is more like an epic Sonic game. Okay, you have 6 characters. You're playing Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Amy, Gamma, Big the Cat, and Super Sonic. And they all have one plot theme. But before I tackle that, one thing I want to make clear is that I think the reason why some people like the Adventure 1 series game is because when you play the game, it has a very anime approach to it. Not just the cutscenes, but the dialogue, the feel, the vibe. And if you look at it, the front cover, Sega was going for more of an anime approach. So it does make sense why people would like this, because there's a lot of anime fans out there. Even though I prefer the second game, I do like the first game. It definitely has that cool kind of episodic anime vibe to it. Now, the main plot of the game is that Eggman wants to release this creature called Chaos. Chaos How he does it, you have to watch the Sonic X series to find out. But he releases Chaos, and Chaos starts causing havoc. And in order for Chaos to become this monstrous form, Perfect Chaos, he has to feed it Chaos Emeralds. Now it's a job of Sonic and friends to stop Eggman and his evil plans. Now you do meet this character called Tikal. She's like a spirit, echidna that kind of shows you glimpses of the past and kind of tells you what's going on and little bits and pieces of what's going on. So it does kind of show a mystery of the Chaos Emeralds and the Master Emerald as a whole, and also Knuckles' ancestors. Now a cool tip is that I was reading in the magazine that Chaos was an inspiration of Godzilla. Yes, Sega Sonic Team wanted to make a Sonic version of Godzilla. So that's the reason why Chaos was created. Chaos's design and his character is based on a Godzilla. And I think that's pretty cool. And don't forget that this game came out back in 1999. If you look the year before that, 1998, that Godzilla thing came out. That Godzilla 98 that a lot of people hate. I don't personally hate it. I think it's an alright film and I like it. Now when we're talking about gameplay, each game is split up depending on the character you play as. So if you're playing the Sonic, it's going to be a speed and platform game where you have to get through the one goal to the end of the goal, and that's you can take multiple paths to get there. Now in order to get there, you have to unlock these hidden items throughout the map. That I think is pretty cool because each character has these hidden items. Now with Tails is more of a mini game. You get to do a little bit of shooting and also collecting and rings and also just kind of helping Sonic out. Each character has a boss level, by the way, depending on the character itself. Knuckles is more treasure hunting, as you're picking up pieces of the shards of the Master Emerald. Gamma's more of a shooting rail game where you run around and shoot things. Amy's more of a cat and mouse chase game, and Big the Cat's fishing. Now when it comes to the soundtrack, the Sonic Adventure soundtrack, it was a whole new level of awesome. This started that whole, I like to call it, rock and roll lyrical theme that a lot of the Sonic fans are familiar with. As each character is given a theme and an ending depending on their type of character. And also even the track itself have a bit of a techno/rock vibe to it. Back then rock and roll was a big deal, and today I think it's still a big deal as it kind of slowed down over time. But back then a lot of people who grew up with, a lot of young kids who grew up with the Sonic are going to be associated with rock and roll because a lot of the Sonic music had rock and roll, and it really started with the Adventure series that kind of started the whole rock and roll tracks. I thought that was kind of cool to mention. You had some pretty good tracks on there like Twinkle Park, Highway Speed, Emerald Coast, and Red Mountain. Now we come to the pros and cons of Sonic Adventure. Starting with the pros. Sonic Adventure had a really good music track. It was the start of the whole rock and roll and lyrical themes, like I said. Sonic Adventure did introduce the Child Garden that a lot of people love, and people are still asking for Sega to return it. Sega, return the Child Garden, man. And now when it comes to the main game itself, Sonic Adventure, it was basically a visual and technological demonstration when it comes to how what the Dreamcast can do at the time, and it was a success. It did really well. It was a good start for Sega. Now you figure that's all that matters in the game, right? A game that runs well, good music, and just have little good features, right? Well, that's where we come to the the cons of the game. Now we come to the cons, starting with the hub world. The hub world in this game is unutilized, man. Once you beat the game, there's really nothing else for you to do in the hub world but replay the maps again. But you don't even need to access the hub world to do any of that. All you have to do is just go to Trials mode and play the map just like that. The other problem I have with this game is you have to create a new profile to play the story again. There's no way for you to watch the cutscenes of whatever game progress you made or replay a certain part of the game. You have to create a new profile to do it again. Now when it comes to the two characters like Big the Cat and Amy, I don't like Big the Cat. I don't like his fishing mechanics or gameplay. I definitely don't like Big the Cat. he's the one character that makes this game drag, and you have to play his character to get to the last story. Same thing with Amy. Amy's character is fine. She's the shortest, but the problem with her gameplay is she's slow and the cameras are just weird. Other than that, I'm giving this game a 4 out of 5. It's a good game, a great game, but it's the first game of a series that's a good stepping stone for Sega. Other than that, guys, I hope you like this review. Please like, share, subscribe. Until next time, see you later.